Hello and welcome. On the program tonight, changing the image of Danfo bus drivers and conductors in Lagos. Find out what the drivers themselves make of the new initiative which will require them to run shifts and wear uniforms. And pedestrian bridges, there are quite a lot of them in Lagos, but just why do some people choose not to make use of them and endanger their lives? Plus, participatory budgeting, citizens' power in action, as residents and council chairmen sit face-to-face to plan their budget for the coming year. Welcome once again. I am Deji Badimosi. Now, barring any last-minute change of mind by the Lagos State government, beginning from January next year, residents of Lagos State would be waking up to something new and fresh. Drivers and conductors of the famous yellow buses, popularly known as Danfo, will not be what we have always known them to be, dirty and unkempt. No, they would appear very neat and corporate in uniforms with badges for proper identification. Now, besides that, the drivers would also be required to run 8-hour shifts. In other words, in a 16-hour working day, for example, you would have 2 drivers to a bus. The state government has argued that this initiative is not new and that the drivers' union, of course, have come out to say that the drivers have always been running shifts. Our interaction with the drivers themselves, however, indicate otherwise. But on the uniforms, there seemed to be some kind of agreement. Take a look at this report.
They are more or less like the king of the roads. Yellow. That's their defining color. Exclusive to Lagos, the center for excellence. In fact, they are the defining feature of Lagos. Quite a number of them are rickety, almost always unkept, but they are able to access just any kind of road, and quite affordable too. That's just part of the story of Danfo buses, as they are popularly called. Most people hate them, but they are still the popular choice of commuting in this city of over 15 million people. Some of the drivers of these buses are amongst the worst when it comes to abuse of road traffic rules, contributing to major traffic jams in the city. They work long hours, and most of them snap at the slightest provocation. The bus conductors are no different, often dirty looking and very foul-mouthed. The Lagos State government is now moving to address these problems. It now wants both driver and conductor to appear neat and corporate. And so beginning from January next year, residents will see a different looking driver and his conductor. Both will be required to wear uniforms, badges, and have identity cards.
With this new system, you have to pre-register and get a commuter passenger transit owner's license. Now, what that's required is that your driver too must be certified at a driver institute to be a public transport, that is a commercial passenger transport driver. Then the conductor who operates the vehicle now also needs to be registered as a conductor. So what we have doing in this regard is to make the public transport system operators to understand that they are professionals, public transport transport professionals. Now, by doing this, what it now requires is to give them a corporate outlook. Now your vehicle is registered. The driver is registered. The conductor is registered. Now let's know who are these people. So we now are also in agreement with the operator unions and associations to introduce uniforms. So when you are corporately dressed, you feel more of a professional, then the attitude will be better managed. Then we can give a better service delivery in our public transport system. And that will encourage more people to use the public transport system. And by more people using the public transport system, the main objective will now come into it. That is to reduce the number of vehicles per kilometer of our roadway system, free the traffic, move more people within a particular short period of time, and get better service delivery.
Besides that, commercial bus drivers will also run shifts of 8 hours after which they will retire for the day, giving way for another driver to man the wheels, as clearly stated in the Lagos Road Traffic Law of 2012.
Most critical part of our public transport system is the yellow buses, moving people from one point to, and they've also contributed to gridlocks and traffic situation on our roads. And we believe a change of attitude on the part of the people who operate these buses and a change of operational model on the part of government will be of a great importance. So that's why we introduced the Lagos State Public Transport Management System.
On the streets, the reactions from the Danfo bus drivers is mixed. Here is what some of them had to say about the use of uniforms.
I welcome the uniform something. It will make you look responsible. To me, I don't know to other driver, to me, it will make you look responsible. And to make you look, because if you go to other country, that is the same thing, they use uniform. To make you, the passenger, they will not molest you, they will not talk to you. You know, it makes you look neat.
Your uniform is okay. I love it so much because it's going to bring a unity. One, going to bring a transfer of what we are doing. Going to educate us more, and people will understand that this very thing is not a child play. It's a very union thing. So because some people look at Danfo as maybe as a tout, but it's not a tout.
It's a welcome development because I see it as somebody looking tidy is a good thing. Okay, we see it, but if it is not something that will give us pressure,
if they will share the uniform free of charge, we accept it. But they collect money because of the uniform.
What do you buy the uniform and at least the work?
You say, okay, driver will have uniform, conductor will have uniform. Understand me? So when you change a conductor, you go and buy another uniform for another conductor. And this particular time, we don't see conductor. Conductor is very scarce. You can't see them. So if someone don't have conductor, I think it's another opportunity for last man and police to eat from you. Where is their conductor? Because you don't buy two uniforms. Because buy two uniforms is generate money to them.
But while the policy on the use of uniforms is welcomed, it's not actually so for that which requires them to run shifts.
Like among the vehicles you are seeing here, it belongs to us. And most of us, we don't like giving vehicle handover because of one thing or the other, most especially last man. In a situation you give a colleague a vehicle for him to work, for his own daily bread, then you'll be in the house waiting for him to come back. All of a sudden they call you on phone that they have arrested the vehicle. You know what it looks like.
For example, my own bus I took, so I will not deliver it to a different driver. Because the way he will use the motor is different from the way I'm managing it. And actually the bus come through me, direct source. And the person that I will hand over to the bus will not take good care of the bus as I'm using it.
It's not just the Danfo bus drivers who have been reacting to the new policies. Even commuters who ride in these buses every day have also been weighing in.
The way the drivers are driving is terrible. So, but if there is a regulatory authority to monitor the way they behave on the road and away from the road, it's going to add a little level of discipline on them. Putting on your uniforms, at least you should be able to recognize a particular driver. Especially when you lose your materials, maybe you lose your loads and luggages. So many people have lost a lot of things in vehicles and have never found them.
It's a welcome development as it would bring about identity, you know, in the transport business in Lagos. As in, you can identify the driver and you can identify the conductor, so that anybody that is posing as them, you know, they can always be, you know, incarcerated and you know, you can fish them out.
It's just a few weeks to the new year when the policy will come into force. Everyone will be expecting to see a completely reformed driver and his conductor. But again, the key word is expectation. It only becomes reality when it actually happens.
Now, something also remotely related. One of the defining features of Lagos is its pedestrian bridges. There are quite a lot of them, and some are beautiful sights to behold. Now, these pedestrian bridges are not built for fancy at all. They're actually built to save lives and make it easy for people to cross busy roads with ease. Something you must also know, they don't come cheap at all. So it is actually frustrating that in spite of this effort at saving lives and making movement easy for pedestrians across busy roads, some just choose not to use the bridges at all. In places like Ojota, the government has posted law enforcement agents there to practically force people to use the bridge. Despite that, some still refuse to comply, not even when there's a law against it in the state. So the question is, just why do some pedestrians choose to endanger their lives and ignore using pedestrian bridges? Here's what we found out.
One can broadly categorize pedestrians in Lagos into two: those who use the pedestrian bridges and those who don't. Pedestrian bridges are erected to aid pedestrians in crossing busy roads and reduce the frequency of pedestrians getting run down by cars. There are several of them in Lagos, and more are even still coming up. And of course, they cost a lot in constructing. But the sad reality is that most of those who these bridges are simply meant for chose not to use them. They rather take the risk of crossing major highways, sometimes getting knocked down and even killed in the process. Take this bridge for example. Located in Adekunle bus stop in Yaba Axis, it stands alone and abandoned. At first glance, one may think that this bridge is faulty, but on close observation, you will discover that this bridge is in perfect condition. Aside from these school pupils who use this bridge when heading home from school every day, people around here say this bridge is rarely used by pedestrians.
This one is still very strong, and if you find that because of the proximity of a primary school here, most pupils made use of it. They cross to the other for safety of their lives. Unlike adults don't make use of it. I must be very, very frank. They don't make use of it. They cross because they are sure of being secured.
It is a similar story with this bridge located close to Jibowu High School, still in the Yaba axis of Lagos. It is also rarely used. The story remains the same, as most of these pedestrians totally ignore the bridge and cross busy roads instead, irrespective of the risk involved in doing so. Take a listen to the reason given by these students for not using the bridge in this area.
Why do you think they don't use this bridge?
Because the bridge is somehow dirty. Crossing the bridge is wasting my leg. Then from that place, I'll still try to this my direction again.
The bridge is not well maintained. It's rickety.
It appears like these pedestrians have chosen what they say is the easy way out, even though it is not the safest way, as they remain undeterred in their actions. Actions which may have left this bridge in a deteriorating condition. The bridge lies in ruins. It has become a haven of some sort, as cartons used in place of mattresses visibly lying on the floor, suggesting someone may have turned here into their home. Also visible are clothes littered on the rail, feces, garbage, among others. A clear reflection that this bridge is rarely used. Meanwhile, such is not the case on this bridge located close to Fadeyi bus stop. It has a massive influx of pedestrians, even though some pedestrians ignore the bridge and cross the roads. The larger part of them make use of this bridge. However, the rusty old bridge looks like it could use a fix, as the wear and tear remains visible. The amount of human traffic on the bridge may have taken its toll on it, as the vibrations from the bridge paint a clear picture.
The bridge needs urgent attention. I think it's really in a bad state. That's why most people don't like using it.
Just like the previous one, this bridge located at Ojota boasts of a steady stream of pedestrians who obey the laws by using the bridges. It also boasts of repeat offenders who defy safety to cross these busy roads. Even the presence of law enforcement agents don't intimidate this group.
Crossing the road is more easier. It's not stressful. Though the bridge is safer, but I prefer crossing the road because it is easy than stressing myself turning to go and climb the bridge, then down. So I prefer crossing the road.
Under the Lagos State Road Traffic Law 2012, pedestrians are forbidden to cross the expressways as they are now to compulsorily use the pedestrian bridges. Violation of these laws attract fines and sometimes imprisonment of up to 3 years, among others. With the trend of people not using these old bridges becoming a regular case, a major question is, will they use the new bridges being built?
Really quite surprising, some of the reasons given by some pedestrians there. We'll take a short break, and when we return, find out how one local council in Lagos is setting an example of how to carry the people along in local governance. Stay with us.
Once it rains, we don't go out.
That is the reason why the student died 3 months ago when the rain fell.
One of my brother died for this road, one of container. This golub way in the sea, because they fall for his head.
Res ipsa locutor. The facts here speaks for itself.
I cannot bring my car to this place, even my business has been crippled out.
They have been spending a lot of money on this road, but now it's above our power.
And we'll be making efforts, write up, calling, meeting the media houses, and one way or the other, we'll be having negative response.
Ibe road, when will it be done?
This is only God can give a definite time.
This road has been like this for almost 21 years.
The chairman is apparently wrong in terms of his information.
I went to the council. We go there to meet him 3 times. He doesn't even attend to us.
How soon will this road be done? Possibly, this road, we have to look at it very well. I can't give you a word.
Welcome back. Now, one thing that has become characteristic of some local government chairmen and indeed elected officials is that they do not carry the people they govern along in the course of governance. For instance, most simply assume they know the problems of their people and go on to execute projects that have no direct bearings at all with the needs of the people. There are so many projects like that scattered across our society, and some of them, of course, have died because the people do not need them. But we came across one local government area in Lagos where the local council chairman is doing something differently. Take a look at this report.
Please 2 minutes.
Participatory budgeting for better development. That's simply how best to describe this gathering of local government executive and other stakeholders in Amuwo-Odofin local government area of Lagos State. The local government administration organized this summit with residents to brainstorm on peculiar issues affecting them with a view to making provision to address these issues in the 2014 budget.
Cost us 26 million using asphalt.
It all started with an appraisal of how the local government area had fared in the past years, with the local government chairman reeling out his development achievements so far. He said his administration in the past 1 year has carried out development projects in virtually all parts of the council.
Within Festac, we are still pushing the road as fast as our resource can. And in the schools also, we have constructed 1,500 mahogany bench and desk. Our microfinance bank partnership with LASME and Cowries is still ongoing. We've been able to touch over 162,000 lives in our PHCs in the last 5 years. We've given 98,000 people free drugs, and we've taken delivery of over 863 babies, out of which we've had triplets, and we've had lots of twins. And we've recorded 0 mortality.
Having listed the projects executed so far, the local government chairman told the gathering he is still willing to do more. He said that with the help of the Public Works Department in the state, 5 road projects have been earmarked for rehabilitation in the coming year. He explained how exactly the road projects would be implemented and the cost involved.
I meant to work on 5 roads, vis-a-vis 401 Road, 22 Road, 311 Road, 322 Road, and 4th Avenue. The total cost that was given to me this morning is 331,473,894 naira 83 kobo to fix those 5 roads.
And then he called on representatives of the different communities and wards in the council to state major issues affecting them and infrastructural areas they would want the government to pay attention to. It was at this point that the residents decided to open up.
My own ward, Ward B1, I've not benefited in any of these infrastructures which you have just mentioned. And again, what we intend to do on infrastructures, 23 Road is not among, which is the main road in Ward B1.
If you look at Amu Odofi, extending from the Western Bridge, we can only boast of one road well constructed since the inception of our very veritable mayor. I know he constructed that road because it comes from that school. It's a product of Amu Odofi boys only. Only boys. He belongs to that school. So he can easily go back to pay them back in a very good coin. Besides that, you look around Amu Odofi entirety, there's no presence of the local government.
After all the complaints, the chairman put up a stout defense, even taking a swipe at some of the residents, accusing some of not fulfilling their civic obligations.
It is rather appalling and disappointing that you cannot fix into your ward. 4th Avenue, part of it is part of your ward. 52 Road is part of your ward. A long section of 23 Road that we fixed from the hotel there. What's the hotel called again? Rockview, down to A Close. That went through Mrs. Ojoju's house. Remember how that place used to look like. We asphalted a long portion of it. We removed inhibitions on the road. It is not too correct to say that you have not seen the presence of the local government in your ward. The Agidimo Road, we have done the bill of quantity. We will not work at Okwefo because we are not ready to waste public funds. There's no road that you do there, it will go back. The solution you hate to hear, and I will tell you again. What happened at Ije Estate at Obalende is what will happen there. That area is below the road. The right thing to be done is to demolish all the buildings there. And for government to fill up that area and put up the building back and resettle you back there. That is the lasting solution. There's no solution to that place. I wonder if I ask you, or many of you, have you paid your tenement rate? Have you paid land use charge? Have you paid radio and TV license? Have you paid LSDPC, their rates? The answer is no. The answer is no. We can start from this table. And how do you want government to work for you if you don't work for government?
Exchanges, this initiative is a clear case of participatory governance, one that deserves emulation by all the local councils in Lagos and beyond. At the very least, it encourages accountability and gives the people a voice in how they want government to serve them. Now, make no mistake at all, we are not in any way saying everything is perfect in Amu Odofi local government area. As you heard from some of those who spoke there are areas that are badly in need of development. But the mere fact that the council executive could call the people together to decide on their budget for next year, even when there are councillors representing the people in the council, is something positive, and we thought it should be encouraged. Well, that's it on the program this week. Want to thank you very much for watching. Now, if you wish to write to us on any issue we have dealt with on this program, or you have any comment at all to make, you can do so via email address. The address now is feedback@lagosvoices.com. You can also get across to us on Twitter. Our handle is @LagosVoices. We're also on Facebook. The address is www.facebook.com/lagos.voices. Now, if you want to see previous edition of this program and lots more, you can simply visit our website. The address is www.lagosvoices.com. You can also see more of it on www.tv360.com, tv360nigeria.com, I should say. We have it there. And if you want to put a call through, you can call the following numbers or you send an SMS. The numbers are 080-5543-4490 or 080-2111-8506. We look forward to hearing from you soonest. Thank you very much for watching again. I am Deji Badimasi. I'll see you next week.